Good day and welcome back to the Student StarCraft AI tournament. We have got for you a selection of replays of all the things that happened last week. One of those being an update by KonBot, which I'm about to show you, and he's playing the ever-redoubtable Rob Bogey. The map, of course, is a Roadrunner 2nd Edition 1.2, which you can see in this OpenBW replay viewer on high definition. Of course, I've only set it to 720p because 1080 my computer doesn't really do, but it could do that as well, and it got the speed controls to go up to 1024 times the speed, which will greatly help optimize these beautiful Brood War AI's games. If you do not know what you have just fallen into, this is the most beautiful game in the world. Again, StarCraft Brood War, which will celebrate its 20th anniversary relatively soon, in about a year. And the implementation is Brood War bots, also AIs, artificial intelligences, playing this game, and we are today celebrating the harvest of this week. Oh, and I'm not trying to select too many things because sometimes the replay then will freeze and we'll have to start all over again, so let's not do that. We've got the first Marine of KonBots making a sortie and being supported by an SCV, chasing out a probe. Meanwhile, in Rob Bogey's base, we've got 4 Zealots trying to hug the Nexus, and the question will be, what are they going to do as soon as they see the SCV? Well, here we go, they come off the line and they kill the SCV. That's always a good thing to do. Next Marine taking position outside the enemy base, a couple of more coming, and KonBot seemed to determine to just push a couple of Marines, contain the enemy, and die to the Zealots again. Hopefully, because I noticed last week the sound of the game sound was a washing white noise, and this week it should be a little bit better, but I don't know if the volume holds up. Again, we've got the Marines and Zealots just past each other. We've got 6 Zealots making their way to the top base. And KonBot said, well, he does scouting now, so by the looks of it, it does. The downside of that is that there are hardly any Marines left here. Oh, we've got 1 Marine and 1 medic, which both die, and the 6 Zealots seem to have their way with this Marines. So lots of work to do, and that's one thing people generally underestimate, the amount of time and work and patience it takes. Ooh, I just thought for a moment that this SUV, this probe was blocking the fleeing forces of the Terran. But it takes a lot of work to make a bot like this, to update it, and we'll get to I'll get to more about that later. But it's just not something you do on a Saturday afternoon. We had we've got one bot which was written in 5 hours, and I'll show you later why that is and how that was done, and what the result is, but generally expect an investment of a couple of weeks at least in full-time coding, and that basically is it for KonBot. It gets destroyed by Rob Bogey not even coming to the point where he can build the Dragoons now, but still doing everything with Zealots, and KonBot gets eliminated. So that's the game. Now, swiftly hopping on to the next game, we've got an update by Purple Bot. Oh, this is it. I was talking about that earlier, and I thought, well, let's save it for a little bit later, but this is Purple Cheese, and Purple Cheese does one particular build order. We are going to see what it's going to be, because let's not be too secretive. As the opponent, we've got Oleg Ostromov, and Oleg is from the class of 2013, hasn't been updated in a while, does a 1-base Terran play, perhaps also expands, and we see a proxy pylon in a weird location. But then again, what can you expect for a bot which was only built with... Are we going to see more probes? No, only 8 probes in total. And this is basically a proxy to gate. So what I was fearing actually was that you build the pylon into the enemy base, or perhaps here as a mana pylon, then build 2 gateways here and there, so then you can't really mine efficiently, and all the SCVs will have a hard time mining minerals or killing the pylon or the gateways. And now we see a 2 barracks play by Oleg, while the first 2 Zealots make their way across the map. That said, at the base, we see a couple more probes being added now. And we've got the bunker up just in time. But oh dear. The Zealots don't go for the bunker, they leave it alone, and they're going for the SCV. One dies, two die. But the mining time will be lost, and oh, this one goes for the Marines now, that's a bit of a pity. And as you can see, for a bot which is 3 or 4 years old, the defense is quite good. What happens is that Oleg's still getting the Marine numbers up, very little hit points lost on these Marines, and perhaps if he's going to build an academy later on with medics, he'll be perfectly safe. So that was a bit of the thing I wanted to show you. Oh, behind this purple cheese is starting another gateway. I wanted to show you the build order of purple cheese because it's really cheesy. And I also wanted to show you how good those bots of 2013 actually are. They haven't gotten onto the macro train yet, but they can do a lot of things, recommence buildings once started and not finished, and in general their worker defense is pretty good. So as you can see, now this, oh, we've got a medic now, so 2 medics, this game basically is over depending on what purple cheese is going to do here. No expansions there, so just Zealots trickling in. And we've got a couple of fire bats with the medics, and I don't think that as a Protoss with only Zealots you are going to get in there, especially as the SCV numbers are still rising. It's now 16 versus 12. Oh dear, and the SCV train with the bio army leaves for the main base. And I think that the main base of Protoss is relatively safe, especially as it's got the bunker, it's got the production, and hasn't got minerals, but is going to lose quite a bit. Where is the army going? The army's going here, taking a position outside the Protoss base. It should really kill that, because if it doesn't, eventually these... Oh no, I think the Terran army has got this well under control. Now with the stim and the rallies, oh, everything gets absorbed here. Purple cheese only building 4 gateways, not a pylon, always a good idea. But in the main base of Terran, it's going to be a bit icky, because these Zealots really do a lot of damage, and although the fire bats are doing nicely, as soon as they die, it's just Marines, and the Terran army here isn't doing anything. That's a bit of a pity. So, yeah, perhaps this is going to go in the way of... purple cheese is perhaps going to... Well, I would say it's fighting more economically, so it's wasting more resources of the enemy than it's losing in Zealots. But now with another barracks, I don't think it can hold on. But the main army of Terran has been whittled down without doing anything, and now we've got Zealots coming in from the main base as well, with 2 gates here, 2 gates there. And as you can see, if you slow down a bit, the Terran army is under a lot of pressure because all the Marines get killed. Now the bunker gets attacked, which will get repaired. That's pretty good. But there are no Marines anymore in the bunker, so now it's Zealots versus Marines and SCVs. This Terran force didn't really do anything. That's a bit of a pity. And as you can see, purple cheese. Oh no, it's just been expelled again. Might that be? No, it's not mining out. I don't know why it is. Just the momentum of the moment, I guess. Now these Zealots will die again. And it's going to be a bit of a tug of war. So I'm speeding it up just a notch. Lots of SCVs dying, but still a decent number for Oleg. The question is, will it not eventually lead? Yeah, SCV numbers are now dropping and dropping to 0. And that's the game. So if you don't attack the enemy with your expeditionary force, you are going to lose. And that's the way it is. So, congrats to Oleg Ostromov for putting up a decent show, and Purple Cheese for demonstrating what you can do in about 5 hours time. That was the game. Let's go on to its bigger brother, Purple Wave. And Purple Wave is more interesting because it does all kinds of interesting stuff. That being a tautological definition of an interesting bot. And Travis Shelton, which can play random, so at this point it took Protoss, so I don't know which build it's going to do. Usually random bots don't have the full flag capabilities of race-specific bots, and it's all about a little bit of cheese and pressure builds and perhaps a DT rush, something like that. While at this end of the map we've got Purple Wave doing some Zealot play, same Zealots going on here. This scouting probe doesn't dare to get in. And Travis Shelton leaving the base, not leaving the base with the Traitor Zealots. No expansions yet, that's interesting. No tech yet on both ends. Purple Wave has mined some gas, but has now refrained from it. I don't think that it can see a way out to take an expansion. Now going for some tech. And some tech buildings are added here as well. So for the time being, this is a mirror matchup. Oh, now the Zealots of Travis Shelton coming in to do some damage, and they do that pretty well because they've got superior numbers for some reason. I missed that. To get chastised for this. And Travis Shelton walking into the enemy base. Now we are going to see a Corsair, probably. And as you all know, Corsairs don't do awfully well against Zealots, but you never know. Yep, there it is. And Travis Shelton with the cannons here for some reason. And more cannons too. So that's pretty devious play, just Zealots into cannon defense, but the cannons are here. And it looks like that Purple Wave is sort of cleaning it up with the rallies, but supply-wise it's still up, and that's mainly because it's got a lot of workers. And is now cleaning up the attacking wave of Travis Shelton. Travis Shelton now taking expansion. So with the extra production capabilities, oh, that's two Corsairs. I don't know what you're going to do with those in PvP. Perhaps we're going to see a devious plan. Now we've got a Reaver, so I think it's time for Travis Shelton to transition out of the Gateway Army, because Reavers have a tendency to do nasty things to Gateway armies, especially if they are supported by a lot of Zealots. Of course, it would be nice to have a Reaver, and it would be nice to have an expansion. As you can see, the mineral line is getting very low, and Travis Shelton's got a base up. Some probes being transferred to the gas, because it needs gas, obviously. And Purple Wave trying to do things on one base. Oh, now you can see what a Reaver really does. It kills stuff really fast. Now 2 Reavers, and although it costs a bit of minerals, you save a lot of minerals too by not having your own units get killed. And with the splash damage it excels in these Zealot versus Zealot fights now. Expansion would be nice, then again, you never know. Expansions are overrated, and we've got a lot of Corsairs, and I don't really know why that is. It should check if there are enemy air units or... Oh hello, that's that's cute. Looks like now there are too many probes for Purple Wave for the main base. Now long distance mining Nexus might be nice. And what is all this with these Corsairs? We see... Oh, perhaps they can kill an observer later on. Oh, a shuttle. We've got a shuttle, so perhaps they can kill a shuttle. And there we go. Will they kill the shuttle? Probably. But they don't really seem intent on killing it. The Reavers are too far back in the rear, and I don't know what Purple Wave is doing, because this is rather silly. With a Nexus for which it should have saved them money, it might have been a lot better. And Travis Shelton with the extra mining income and the inferior army supply is doing quite well, but Purple Wave seems to have stuck its foot in some rabbit hole and is butting its head against the wall. Long distance mining slowly increasing the army, and too down. Always too down. I missed the entire engagement. We've got some gateway units coming in, and the Zealots of Purple Waves. Look at all these Corsairs, there must be about 10 of them. They're doing absolutely nothing. We've got a handful of Reavers and Corsairs and no second Nexus, so that's a bit of a problem. The Reavers though are killing off the Gateway army, and then it continues to long distance mine, so 8 times the speed. The Corsair train is mulling about. Travis Shelton taking another base, that's really well done. But, oh, here come the Reavers. So now the question is, will with the Zealot support, which is being fed from long distance mining, and the Reavers, will Purple Wave be able to crush the enemy? And at the moment, with 5 Reavers, you are expending 65 minerals a shot to kill the enemy, and if you are on 1 versus 2 base... Oh god, we've got an Arbiter truck, that's cute. And look at all the cannons here, and all the Corsairs taking damage. Main army still lingering here, I don't know why that is. And Travis Shelton seems to be intent to take another base. More miners coming for this base, and I don't really know what is going on. Perhaps the replay bugged out again. This cannon is trying its utmost to kill all these units. The Reaver's still holding strong versus the occasional Zealot, but as you can see, Travis Shelton has got a lot of gas but no real minerals to speak of. Though the fourth base is up now, the main army of Purple Wave is not doing anything. Nice probe transfer, more tech units, what will we see? I don't know, another cannon, because the Corsairs are really, really frightening. And as you can see, oh, we've got something's brewing here. But the main army of Purple Wave is stuck here, and I don't think that these Corsairs have got much fun out of this confrontation with the cannon. Oh, we've got a scout. One scout, and where are all the Corsairs? There should be lots of them. Oh, the Corsairs are here. And one scout, I think, can easily take down one Corsair because it's got these huge air-to-air missiles. Now the Corsairs are doing all kinds of crazy stuff. One goon is taking down the Corsair, and now the Reavers are advancing slowly but surely. And it's just a mess. Okay, gonna speed it up because as you can see, nothing's happening at all. Oh, we've got an Arbiter and we've got a stream of Zealots. Nice gateway army by Purple Wave, but as you can see, supply-wise they're about equal now. Stasis units, that's always cute. And now Travis Shelton is pulling ahead because the mining is slowly impeded because not the probes are being attacked, but this base is mining out and they've got to run longer. But Travis Shelton's still got two bases and building more pylons in the middle of the map, building all kinds of units, just moving them into the base. And although you've got Reavers, the defense is really, really expensive at this point. So that's not going to go well for very long. Then again, I don't really know. Purple Wave now at half the supply. The third base, oh, a Reaver got killed. Now the entrance to the main is being camped by these Zealots and goons. So that's the end of it, and let's please hop on to the next game. That is Lucas Moravec as the White Protoss versus the Purple Terran Litobots version CIG 2016, which I think is the best version it's got at the moment. I'm interested to see in what Litobot is going to do next, because he's been quiet for a long time, has been working on his master's thesis still, and I don't know if he's got any time left to work on his bot. Then again, Lucas Moravec seems to have had some time because he has been pushing updates and has been doing so quite successfully. Of course, as your bot gets more complex, it also gets more error prone because more things can go wrong. That's something like Murphy's law of brutal AI. The more things a bot can do, the more things can and will go wrong. So, Litobot with the nice wall-off. I don't think this is tight, but for the time being, nothing too big like an Ultra can get in at the moment. And trying to chase down this scouting SCP, which they kill now. Lucas Moravec starting off with 2-gate pressure, and as you can see, oh, this is tight, that's cute. These Zealots can't get in, of course these Marines they keep their distance despite there being a wall, so they're not really attacking the Zealots at the moment. That's a bit of a pity. Giving Lucas Moravec time to do stuff, mainly building more Zealots, and if you've got a nice Zealot army here, perhaps sometime they may... Oh, there we've got a tank. So what's happening is that these Zealots don't really think, well, if we tear down one of these depots, we can get at the Marines. They think, well, we want to attack the Marines, and we can't get through, and now there is a tank, and we want to get through the Marines, and let's do a shaky dance here, because there is nothing else we want to do, and let's all get killed. But I think the damage for now has been done. Were it not that Litobot always builds his natural command center in the main base, so the moment this is safe, it can float it down and not be too far behind this Nexus, if it's going to be behind at all, because I think this command center is going to land faster than this Nexus is done. And Litobot with 20 supply ahead is going to be in excellent shape, especially as it's got about as many tanks as the enemy's got Zealots. So that was a bit of a wasteful exercise by Lucas Moravec, but the dilemma where you want to attack a unit but cannot reach it, and you've got to to put in a sub-step to kill one of these depots to get at the enemy is some kind of decision making that these bots at this point do not have. These are bots just mulling about the natural, and of course now this base is up. Some probes should have been transferred, that's always something new. It takes time, third base being taken out, and I think that if Lucas can keep Litterbot contained for the time it takes to get the third up and the extra production running, as you can see it's 40 supply behind him. As soon as this bio-mech army gets rolling, there is very little in Protoss arsenal at this moment, just goons and zealots that can't stop it. So perhaps it was a bit unfair or uninteresting in the side of this broadcast to put Lucas Moravec up to the stronger opponent first. Perhaps we got a game of against a weaker opponent where we can see what he's doing. But as you can see, occasionally one Marine dies with the tanks in the rear and the big bio blob. It's just absorbing anything that Lucas can throw at it. The natural gets raised very, very handily, just ignoring the Nexus for the time being or taking a couple of shots, and that's about it. Very nice building placement by Lita, very efficient, that's always something to look for. Oh, and that's a bit silly because it occasionally keeps blocking its ramp. It might have to do some code to fix that. And the main is gone, now it needs to find the third, which it now does. And here comes the army, and there is only a handful of probes, so this is going to be the GG. So let me introduce you to the second game of Lucas Moravec, which is a game against CJShu. The bot's name is Overkill, and funnily enough we just had Leaderbot CIG 2016, and CJShu took third place on CIG 2016 out of the blue, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, CJShu hasn't really had time to update his bot since. That's a big pity, but it was because it was looking very, very promising now. First play going to be a handful of Zerglings thrown at the main of the enemy. I think with the probes and the first zealot, which should pop relatively soon were it not supply blocked. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, this is not good. Are we going to see the zealot soon, or is this going to be the end? We've got one zealot, two zealots, and they just might barely be able to take down all these Zerglings. Look at that, how efficient they are. The Zerglings are softened up by fighting with the probes. But now it's 2 zealots versus 4 probes, and that's a very funny time to take an expansion. But perhaps you can make it work, because the economy of Overkill at this point isn't really good either. And if it's only going to do Zerglings, it's going to take a while to defeat these 2 zealots, especially as the Zerglings are quite hesitant in engaging these zealots. And perhaps we'll get another zealot soon, so with 3 zealots you can take down quite a number of Zerglings. Of course we've got more drones coming out, more hatcheries, so I think that for now, no, it doesn't die. One of the zealots might die. Now there are 3 zealots now. This one shouldn't venture out into Zergling territory so much. Oh, and now it dies. So now it's 2 zealots versus a lot of Zerglings again. But again, the probe numbers are rising too. And I think, all things being equal, and Zerg being on double the amount of workers, all the zealots are dead now. So one comes off the line to kill these Zerglings, kills a bunch of them, and another one's coming. So I think that Protoss might just stabilize as long as the situation stays on one base. Now going for the gas. Now, as you can see, Overkill hasn't got the drone numbers either, and the Zerglings are getting low. So perhaps with another probe and another gate, I think that Lucas has done it for now. We'll need to do something about these zealots though. Oh, taking the high ground, that's very, very clever. More links coming. Where are the zealots? The zealots might even lose this nexus, because 4 zealots now. I think if with good micro you might just do it and hope there are no mutas anytime soon. Worker numbers still increasing for Lucas Moravec, so that on that front it's doing pretty well. Perhaps a cannon or 2 might do wonders against these Zerglings. As you can see, this Nexus is producing probes. Oh, and these zealots only fighting on the high ground. That's very good. But the surface area these links got is just too much at this point, with only 2 gateways. And look at the number of we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the natural coming. I think that the links are going to have it. The Lings are going to have it. The first attack was too much. Now they take down the zealots one by one. They're going into the main base, into the probe line. Again, no more income for Lucas Moravec. And Lucas still's got some work to do, but as he's been working hard, I don't Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The game plan seems a little bit shaky because 3 nexus before 4 to any cannons and not recognizing that we're under a lot of zergling pressure. That's not going to go well. Let's hop into the next game, congratulate Overkill, and go into the game of ZvZ versus McRave. And ZvZ had a couple of updates a couple of weeks ago. Looked very promising, then dropped off for a bit, and that's always, well, it's not really sad to see, but it's, as you know how much time this takes, it's easily conceivable that there are so many other ways in which you can spend a lot of hours than to code a root or AI, but it's going to need a bit of work, and McRave has been pushing updates, so basically that's why this game is in today's broadcast. It is because McRave has been working hard and it was already looking good, so let's see what we are going to see. Very fast expansion by ZvZ and Pool, and even though this looked like a 2-gate with, oh no, the Zealots are staying at home, or the one Zealot is staying at home at the moment, stay-at-home Zealot. I think this is going to be a good build. A couple of links out now for ZvZ, and with 2 hatcheries, I think you can do quite a lot. For the time being, we've got a couple of Zealots, and they're camping the high ground, so no one's going to get in there, and this scouting drone is escaping, well, not unscathed, but oh, that's very aggressive by ZvZ. I always like Zerg doing that, just taking a lot of bases all at once, but the drone numbers, you've got to get some drones, man. It's really... I don't know what these Zerglings are doing here, just taking map control. The Zergling numbers are getting out of control because, as you can see, we've got 6... oh, there must be that. 8 armies of Ogres, 16 Zerglings, and they've got to get back home right now because there are Zealots in the natural choke. And you might lose a hatchery or something, and they're wrapping it, they're killing off Zerglings which are filtering in one by one. Now they're coming back home, back to the rallying cry of these poor drones which died. 4 drones killed, that's quite a lot already. And although I think that these Zealots are going to go down with the rallies, I think that McRave has got this. Oh no, it hasn't. The Lings are in form, they are killing off all the rallies, and although more rallies are coming, I think that the Lings can hold this with production numbers. And we've got Hydras coming, but the one thing that's worrying is the worker count for ZvZ. It's only 10 versus 22 probes, and even though you've got 3 bases and you're mining really, really efficiently, oh, now the goons are coming, the goons are falling. The goons are falling because they've got no more room to micro, and although there are 3, what are these Zerglings doing? They should be right in the fight. Protoss being taken back. 1 more probe getting killed. The Zerglings now make a hasty exit. We've got a couple of Hydras and the worker numbers are gone, so basically ZvZ will have to make something work or switch back into drones. It's got the army now to contain the Protoss for a bit, and with the Hydras it can much more efficiently engage these goons. That's a very good Zerg army, good composition. The goons are trying to target the Hydras, but they're taking a lot of damage from the Lings, natural being taken by Protoss. This is Protoss will transfer a couple of probes. It can't produce any probes at the moment because it's so low on money, and all the army keeps getting killed by these Zerglings. It's really, really tight match. McRave appears to be saving for something, 200 minerals, and it can't really afford to lose this Nexus at the moment. This Zealot's going to go down, the Hydra is going to live, and that's a small victory for Zerg. And as you can see, in games of 10 versus 21 workers, small victories are what it's all about, especially if you've got a Zerg army on your ramp from the main to the natural. No workers being built here at all. ZvZ is going to do this on 10 workers it seems, now going for some probes. And McRave is just bleeding units left and right. You should gather a handful, perhaps build a couple of cannons, take that base, try to get a Reaver out, because it's under a lot of pressure, and although there are no more workers being built by ZvZ, and units take a long time to filter in, the natural Nexus has now gone down. McRave under pressure, under a lot of pressure. I don't think it can do anything with the rallies of 1 base, and although the worker numbers are very, very low, perhaps you need a Reaver now, quick. Perhaps that's the only thing that can save this Protoss base from falling. Oh, and we've got 1 more worker. Oh, and it promptly gets morphed into something. Bit of a pity. A handful of workers, this would have been over long ago. We've got the Reaver, we've got the Reaver. And it takes down the Zerglings. It takes down the Zerglings, it keeps it distant now. There goes the depot, and it takes down all the Hydras as well. Boom, boom, two shots in quick succession. The probe numbers have been decimated. But we have got the Reaver and some Protoss gateway units to support it. We've got the worker numbers are climbing for Zerg, but now they've got to fight for their life because there is a Reaver on the way. And there's going to be a bit of a shuffle on. Now 13, 12 drones, that's very, very scrappy again. Zealot dies, and I think, that's a really ugly shot. That Reaver is really saving the Rave's bacon at this point. No expansion yet, the probe numbers are down way too much, but now we've got one worker here, but the production of Zerg now is gone. And the Reaver's rocking up to the natural, taking down the drones. Oh, it's dying, it fell to only 2 Hydras, how could that happen? And now McRae is again in a very, very bad position, because this Reaver is going to take forever to crawl up to the natural again. And as you can see, Zerg is working on, almost double the economy it was last time. It's now got 14 instead of 10 SCVs, and that's quite a difference. A couple of Hydras being built. This one Zealot is being out-microed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And this one Reaver is not being out-microed, it just takes down 3, 4 Hydras in quick succession. Here goes the 5th, doesn't get even a blink of chance to get a shot off. But now 15 workers for Zerg, and with the production, but look at this Reaver holding strong, and it's second Reaver coming up, so now you've got to kill 2 Reavers with only Zerglings and Hydras and no workers whatsoever. 16 versus 16 workers, and the Reaver again is infiltrating the natural of Zerg, and it's doing a lot of damage. Taking down a drone, and it's trying to go for the hatchery, giving these Hydras a chance to kill it. 17 workers for Zerg, and now the second Reaver is there. Kills off 2 Hydras, 1 more Hydra is coming, and the other Hydras are being produced here instead of there, so that's... there go the drones, and the Reaver again is trying to kill the natural, but it isn't succeeding, and Zerg, I think Zerg is getting ahead. Protoss now long distance mining, another Reaver, but in the long run, with the drone numbers steadily growing for Zerg, I don't really see this happening, and this Reaver is going to go down again. Protoss down to only 1 Reaver, and 1 Reaver is not enough. Zerg now on 18 workers, and the Hydras are on the ramp again. That was a really ugly shot. So as long as the Reaver is there, it's okay, but long distance mining against 3 bases with drone numbers so slowly climbing, that's really insane. There's a lot of skirmishing going on there. It's a really tight match, but I think with 3 expansions and production capability it offers. That Reaver. That was 4 at once. That is so beautiful. But 2 Hydras, and they take down the Reaver again, so it's just like playing tower defense with Hydras versus Reavers, which come crawling in. The drone numbers, though, are increasing. 23 now, and Z-Life is doing this beautifully. In the early game, it kept so much pressure on the Protoss with all that very tight link micro, and now the Hydras are into the probes, and this is over. Because we've only got 1 Reaver, and although it's going to get off a lot of very good shots... that was 4 at once, again. And although the Scarabs are really dumb, this can only go one way, because the worker numbers are now double in favour of Zerg, and if you've got that situation, you know things are not boding well for Protoss. Then again, we've got 1 more push coming up with a Reaver and 2 Reavers, 1 following close behind, a couple of gateway units. Perhaps if they keep their positions locked together, that's a nice shot, that's a nice shot. 1 more, the Hydras are gone, but it's only one Reaver now, and so many Hydras are filtering in. 28 versus 14 workers now. No more tech coming from the part of Zerg. That's a bit of a... well, understandable, because you need to get your workers up. And Protoss main is out. It's gone. It's not there anymore. So basically, with these 2 Reavers, the Protoss got to do or die. And I don't think it's going to do very much, because although you can always count on Hydras doing something silly, 1 shot, 2 shot, but the Hydras have got pretty good micro, and they won't fall to 1 Reaver anymore. They fall to 2, alright, but our Reaver's getting damaged already, so this is not going to go well. 33 versus 18 workers, but more importantly, the main of Protoss is out. We've got only one Reaver, one probe. Probe's long distance mining from here. There is no money for an extractor. I don't know why they're not taking the natural, but there was two defining moments. The very tight defense of Zerg with the Lings and sniping the Protoss natural were decisive factors in this game. This one Reaver is holding for the moment, but taking damage to his hull, getting into the red. Nice scouting with that observer, but taking a shot, taking another, taking a third, and now the Reaver is gone. So this is a huge problem for Protoss. Oh, there is one more Reaver. 36 drones now. This base has got a nice saturation as well, might take another base soon. The last Reaver falls, and now we've got a bunch of hungry Hydras tearing into these probes. Protoss out of money, Hydra numbers increasing. Oh, one more Reaver going to do its job, but as you can see, there is hardly a probe left. There is only one probe left, and where is it? It's stuck here because it's very, very afraid. And Protoss has got to come back from here. It's not going to happen. Spending the last bit of money on Scarabs. As you can see, one probe, high ground, one Reaver. Might just do it. 44 workers. Zerg might take another base, but in the long run, I don't think this is going to work. One Reaver, one probe. This is the most epic defense since the Alamo, but now there is no more money. And the Reaver dies. The Reaver dies, the Zealots are gone, they are no more. And ZvZ taking a very tight victory over McRae. GG. I'm not going to watch this to the end because we've got more games to show. And one of those is another ZVP, and this one is won by bots which are a little bit more established, more refined. We've got bwapi, and bwapi is quite a monster, which I need not tell you anymore, I think. And we've got Killabot by Marion DeVecca, which I don't know what I can tell you anymore about that. Marion always tries to push a big update before a finals, so perhaps before the 2017 finals we'll get an update from him. For now I wouldn't count on one, but it's still very, 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 very good. Together with TSC Zerg, I would say, and Alien and Steamhammer of course, which are working so hard to overtake TSC and Killabot, and ZvZ too of course, but I think for the time being Killabot still, with TSC still the number 1 and 2 Zergs, and going for some early Zealot aggression, overtaking one Zealot with the Lings, and the Reaver's going to be in a bit of trouble, because although we've only got 5 Lings left, this one Zealot is retreating to the high ground, going to make it stand there, killing one, killing two, and then falling. That's okay, because you've got the rallies, and the probes will have to come off the line anyway. Killabot going very, very defensively, spending a lot of money on 2 Sunkers, which it doesn't need because it's so aggressive here. If it would have spent that in another natural or a third base or a lot of drones, it might be so much better off, and that's one of the things that I think are going to be important in bot development too, to know when you've got to build Sunkens and when not. I think perhaps Marion DeVecca might do something about that in his next update. And as you can see, the Lings still try to take map control, the Zealots can't get anything done, but here I think we're going to see Corsair, which is going to do something about the Overlords, thus hindering the expansion of Killabot a little bit. There is a Hydra den, so we might have some Hydras, but for the time being, these Overlords are very, very exposed. Now they're going to not be attacked because, I don't know, but there are Hydras out already. So supply-wise, it's about even. Protoss has got the ramp secured, it's got the tech, lots of tech, that's really a lot of tech. Go, I think, for some Reaver drops, and the advantage of that is that it's really, really strong. The disadvantage is that you've got a hungry Zerg on the map, which is not going to stand for it and is going to attack the ramp. Now, with the Hydras and the Lings waiting for some rallies, only 5 Zealots here, that's not a lot. Perhaps the Reaver should play a role in home defense, I would say, but the shuttle's got other ideas. It's going to drop it into one of the harvesting areas probably, and there is a Zerg blob gathering in the natural of Protoss. There is some Sunkens are here. I think they can range all these positions. It's not quite here. We are going to see, but for the time being, Zerg is really aggressive in the main base. Ooh, that's one Scarab, well done. That's another sort of dudding, 2 killed. This shuttle is stuck here, that's really bad. But this Reaver is holding on strong. Look at all the workers killed. No more workers for B-Reaver, and Killabot is all over the place. And as there is no more money for B-Reaver, there is no more money for Scarabs, and you can have 3 Reavers as well. 2 and 1 in the shuttle stuck here. If they have got no money for Scarabs, they cannot fight, and all the Hydras are going to kill all your pylons, and that's going to be the game. Now this Corsair is trying to kill off all the Overlords, killing 1, supply block and Killabot for the time being, but we've got 2 more. Oh, but all the Overlords are out there already, so they don't have the intelligence to move back to the Hydras. These Hydras in the main, though, are killing off everything, and that's something that B-Reaver still's got to work on to see whether or not there are 15 Hydras over here, and you should not have your Reaver stay at home to help with the home defense. Then again, let's do something completely different. Got a ZvZ, and that's quite interesting because 2 of the Zerg which are working hardest on their bots are Microwave and Alien, and especially Microwave is interesting because I read the update on his player page on our server. You've got a small, oh no, that's you can make a short description of your bot, what it does, or place a link to a GitHub or something like that. It's based on Steamhammer, so it should be pretty good. Made some tweaks. And Microwave has been working very hard. I've seen him take out some really good bots. That's so impressive. On the other end, we've got Alien, which is very, very good as well. And Alien's description is even more interesting than Microwave's, which I was actually talking about. There should be new Overlord logic, for which we will keep an eye out. Secondary surrender logic, which, well, I'd say without seeing the game has a 50% chance of kicking in or not. And the first attempt on machine learning. So I'd like to find out more about machine learning. For the time being, the Zerglings try to engage the Overlord, looks like, or just taking a position on the ramp. And we've got a bit of a link skirmish on our hands. Alien with the quick expansion, looking well. Worker-wise, it's 2 ahead still. I don't know what Microwave is doing. Microwave is going for Sunken in the main, keeping its links at home. That's a defensive decision, and it will cost you in the long run, because Alien can get its natural up. Hasn't spent money on the Sunken, instead spends money on another hatchery. And although with the rallies Microwave can take care of this, and the Zerglings are not going to get through Sunken with Zergling support anytime soon, I think for the time being, unless this Zergling army gets cut off like this, these 4, I think that Alien is going to be a little bit ahead in the early game. Now with more hatcheries, but the link numbers of Microwave are pretty impressive. As you can see, army supply wise, it's not ahead. Now come the rallies from Alien, but if you are fighting fewer links with more links, your fewer links will suffer exponentially more. Now we've got a Sunken coming up to here, and I don't think that's really far enough, but with nice pincer movement by Alien there. This drone isn't going to place a Sunken there. This one perhaps will be. And I think by the time we see this, the game will have been sealed, because Microwave is going to build too many Sunkens, hasn't got the drone numbers anymore. Aliens got the naturals, got the Sunken here, will also be mining gas soon. Yep, there we go. And I don't know what the machine learning is going to be, but Microwave is going to be in a bit of a spot. It's now 15 versus 7 workers, 2 versus 1 base, and now it's the waiting for one last ditch attempt at killing off the enemy army, but with the Sunken here, with all the production behind this, even though they're only drones, I don't think this Zergling force is going to get past that with the Sunken. Really can't see it happening. More links coming. More drones coming, 21 versus 8 workers, microwave still stuck to 8. I know you can say, well, I've got it surrounded with the production of Alien, it's going to be a short trip for microwave. And that's very well done by Alien, because Zerg versus Zerg is a bit of a messy matchup. You've got to have the decision making to take either the economic lead or be more aggressive. Microwave fails to be more aggressive because now Alien's got the economic lead and Microwave didn't do anything about it. Another hatchery. Very well done. Alien sitting back, and look at all the money Microwave's got. Only now taking the natural, that's really late. And the reason you are late is that the other had a lot of production capabilities already, and now you're under a lot of pressure from the Lings. For the time being, I think that Microwave can hold. The Ling numbers are about equal, and if you get some creep up, you can get a sunken down. That would be pretty good, but Alien will have been mining on 2 bases for so much longer, and the worker numbers are so imbalanced in the favor of Alien, it's not really going to work. But that's the lair. Perhaps with a couple of mutas, Microwave can still do this, but the Ling numbers on Alien's end are increasing ever so more coming, and Microwave would really need, oh, let's not slow that down too much, really needs a sunken here, because otherwise it's going to fall to these superior Ling numbers. The lair is not yet done, and although it's fighting relatively well, 3rd base coming up for Alien, and this is going to be, I think it's going to be a that can't be a Spire because there is no lair yet. But as you can see also on the minimap, the Ling numbers for Alien are increasing, and Microwave can't really replenish at this point. 3 times as much workers as Microwave's got. Alien in good position, but Microwave's got the better micro, looks like. I've been wondering for some time why Alien is not just overrunning Microwave at this point, but it seems like Microwave's got the better Ling micro. As you can see, Alien is not really attacking these small skirmishes, losing a couple of Lings. Microwave keeping its forces tight together. Oh, now losing a couple in retreat. It's always a bit of a messy thing, but look at these numbers. The worker army is 3 times the size, and the fighting army is more than double the size for... Oh, look at that, all bases being taken. The 3rd base up, no tech yet. That's really cute. Try to do it all of just Lings, but the Ling numbers are there. There is no sunken, and now Microwave is succumbing to the pressure. All the Lings marching in, going in straight into the main base, although there is a small forest of sunkens here. With all the Lings, I don't think that Alien will need a long time to break in that. A couple of Lings come off to help and defend. Perhaps this wave of Lings of Aliens will still die, especially with the Lings of Microwaves now coming up. But they have been killing drones, and the worker balance was pretty much in favor of Alien anyways. Now come the Hydras, and I think this is going to be over very soon. Now comes the sunken, but it is too late, it won't get up. Here goes the natural, and Microwave under a lot of pressure, but still can it? It would have been successful with the mutas, with the Spire, against the Lings, but as you can see, we've got more than enough Hydras coming off. Coming up to the base, killing the Overlord, streaming in. Perhaps a couple will die to these sunkens. Perhaps we'll see a first muta. But what can one muta do versus this base? And Alien with a very slow progression. Very well coded, very tight fighting, and that's what I like about these new Zerg, like Z Live and Alien. They can... Oh, we just had some kind of GG, the game just froze, I don't know. So let's go into the next game, which will be again Alien, this time versus TSCMU and TSCMU Zerg. So another ZvZ, and this is what it's all about, because ZvZ is such a quick, fast, and merciless matchup. You've got to get really good decision making in your production of workers, of fighting units, and when to take an expansion, when to build a sunken. It's all, the difference are minimal, and if you take an offensive build, the other one will have the chance to do something economic in its own time, because you've got all this ground to cover. And perhaps then you can eke out another sunken here, and then you have a 1 versus 2 base situation. So it's a very volatile matchup. Both bots for the time being going for a handful of drone Lings of TSCMU staying at home for the time being. That I think is not the right decision, because Alien's got 2 more workers and it's got the quick natural. So if you're going for a more aggressive build, you're going to need to do something with that. And Alien going for a 3 hatch, that's really ballsy, because although TSCMU is going for another hatch as well, the worker numbers are now equal. And I think this is going to be one of the best ZvZs the bwapi scene at this moment can show. Natural about to finish for Alien, that's a very clever decision. TSCMU's got a lot of lings, army-wise it's about equal, and Alien has made a superior decision, because there was no ling skirmishing in the beginning, now has got the extra hatchery in the natural, and that's always good. So now TSCMU is even 1 hatch behind, going for a very fast lair. I think that's going to be TSCMU's game plan. Make a nice concave here, rush the mutas really fast and kill all the ground units of the enemy. As you can see, no gas has even been harvested for Alien, so Alien's timing at this point basically is to stop TSCMU completely and the workers and the tech before any muta pops, and then hope to start a spire relatively soon. We've got the lair finished for TSCMU. Now would be the time to build a spire, and by now I mean right now, because Alien is going to power through with more tech and the possibility to gain much more income much quicker. And I wonder why TSCMU is not building a spire right now. It's not building a base, and I think this is going to be the spire. Should be the spire. TSCMU with a lot of lings, look at that, look at this concave. Now with a small sortie scouting out the enemy, lots of lings on this end too, so both players know what's going on, playing very defensively, and this I think is going to be the spire, and there is no lair yet started for Alien. So Alien needs to make this work, and it looks like it is, because TSCMU Zerglings are all over the place. Now they swarm back in, try to kill the Zerglings, but this small force of TSCMU has been cut up from behind. The spire is done. The spire is done, and these mutas should help come kill the lings, because the ling numbers are going to be in favor of Alien relatively quickly. And although he's got the evo chamber, so he might build some spires, but now we've got overlords all over this. Overlords mutas. This overlord is being killed, and this muta is killing off the Zerglings here. So TSCMU in a good position. Now the lings come off too. They smell victory, and with 2 bases, some gas stack. Now would also be a good time for TSCMU to take the natural, because he got map dominance, and this muta is basically getting free kills everywhere. Nice building placement by Alien. I don't know what that is. Is this going to be... I think that's going to be there. But it's very late. But as you can see, the economy of Alien is about double the amount of bases. Oh, and the lings are all scattered. Now the mutas need to come here quickly. We've got this overlord didn't get killed completely. But the mutant numbers of TSCMU are growing. They are growing. They need to kill fast, because the lair of going to town on an egg and a base, that's not... Oh, it needs to be much more decisive, especially as the 3rd base of Alien is now up, and the natural of TSCMU hasn't even been started yet. And even if you've got mutas versus defenders ground army, you are going to need to kill something before Alien is going to come up with a spiral of its own, or spores, or just going to out-produce you. Now TSCMU trying to do with the lings, with the mutas, but the muta numbers are so... And they're all here at the natural choke. That's... I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's suboptimal. I don't know what TSCMU game plan is at the moment, because these mutas need to do something, and quick. Look at all these Zerglings here with 3 bases and with 3 mutas trying to kill the Zerglings. You're never ever going to kill all. That I think is going to be the spire. and all these things are running, and these mutas can hardly make a dent. Alien's army is growing. TSCMU is not taking a natural. The mutas are mulling about here. That's just raw. Mutas should be out there killing off workers, killing off stuff left and right. Oh, that's a queen's nest, so TSCMU, lucky bastard. Lucky bastard, now doing some damage to the workers, to the lings. But look at this ling blob here, with all these... The ling numbers here are more than double than here, and these mutas, they cannot stop them should they choose to attack. The Overlord finally getting chased out of the base. TSCMU should be more decisive, much more decisive, because we've got one muta here, we've got an Overlord there, and look at this. All the map is alive with zerglings of aliens. TSCMU doing this on one base, but not being decisive with the mutas. Alien behind this, going for, it looks like a hive, what it's going to do. Take a lot of lings, dominate the map, cover them in lings, and go for a quick hive. TSCMU, mutant numbers are growing, and I wonder if we look at supplies, about 84 TSCMU, 100 for Alien, and I don't think with the mutas around now that TSCMU can make a dent into Alien's army anymore. It's over, the chance is gone. Although TSCMU had a chance, Alien is now completely out of control with another base coming up. TSCMU is going to scout it, but what can TSCMU do? Send a lot of lings here trying to kill an Overlord for some silly reason. Lings come off the line trying to do something desperate, but this is going to be slowed down. Look at the ling now. Alien is pulling its forces back, but this Ling Hydra army versus the Ling Muta army. TSCMU doing the impossible in one base, tearing down the fourth base of Alien, but TSCMU, the main is getting low. It should take an expansion right now, otherwise it's going to be out of the game. Look at it, it's got the money, hasn't got the gas for more mutas. And I think that Alien in a short time will have enough to just press 1A, 2A, 3A, all the Hydras in the Ling just pouring into the one base of TSCMU. Although we've got one muta here harassing the mineral line, it's just not enough. Look at that, TSCMU is trying to surround the enemy, but look at the forces Alien's got at his disposal here. And I was saying this is one of the most interesting or the best ZvZs this game can offer at this moment. And now Alien's had enough. Now Alien's had enough with all the harassment, with all the pokings in with these mutas. It's going to push on, make one big brown streak into the heart of TSCMU's main. TSCMU doing the impossible with only one base, getting up 100 supply. Very, very defensive economic play, harass all over the place, taking good map control, but it should expand, and if it does not, it will die. And that's the end of it. Because although it's harassing here, it's harassing there, the Hydra numbers are growing in such a crazy amount for Alien that TSCMU will not be able to do anything about it, especially not if the main here is mining out, and the main is mining out, is going very, very quickly. 17 workers, saturation not optimal, but as you can see, Alien now 40 supply ahead, and with these Hydras, I think TSCMU's time is running out. Although all kinds of small skirmishes are going in TSCMU's favour, Alien cannot but win this, because all the lings which fall are going to be replaced by Hydras, and fighting Hydras with mutas is not a fight you'd like to get into. Although TSCMU now with a brilliant strategy, containing the enemy here and making a dash at the third with the lings, and if the lings get into the Hydras, these mutas have free reign. About 20 Hydras come off the main group to help and support, and TSCMU is doing this beautifully. These units are not doing anything, but it's a perfect contain. There are units everywhere, and Alien is under a lot of pressure, but still it's got 3 times the workers, it's got 40 army supply more. No, it's worker supply, it's 40 supply more. Army supplies are about equal, and TSCMU is really crazily doing this on one base. Look at this, it's just one big surround of the enemy. And there are mutas here, mutas there, mutas everywhere, and although they cannot do anything, Hydras detained here, Hydras detained there. How many Hydras are left to defend the third? The third is relatively open at this point, and the third is being prodded into every time, and drones are dying here, drones are dying there. Alien is just bleeding units all over the place. 3 mutas here and no Hydras. All the main is deserted because it looks like Alien hasn't got enough squads, not enough task managers to defend here, defend there all at once. And TSU still 40 supply down. What's this going to be? I think it's going to be a Spire, perhaps an Ultra Cannon, or we're going to see. But TSU is refusing, flat out refusing, into the face of my commentary, to take another base, and is demonstrating how much you can do of one base with just Zerglings and Mutas. And we've now got an Ultra Cannon, so perhaps with the Ultras, Alien will muster the courage to do something about these many Mutas, or just plow into the enemy base, because it hasn't got the superior army anymore. The army supplies were equal. TSU is now ahead in army. It's 1 versus 3 base, and TSU is doing it. This man never ever stops surprising me, even after so many years which I've seen him, and even after a period in which his mod hasn't been updated. It is so very beautiful. And now the Lynx and the Mutas come into the 3rd base. The Mutas are here in the main base, and although there are a couple of Hydras and the Mutas aren't really doing much damage, Alien is under a lot of pressure. And now all the Mutas are attacking the Zerglings because all the Hydras are here. We've got all the Hydras are here in the natural. They can't make their mind up where they are going to defend. The 3rd is under pressure. TSU is now fighting with Lynx here as well, killing a lot of drones, killing a lot of Hydras, and now we've got an Ultra. But as an Ultra, what can you do versus Mutas and Lynx? Not very much, because the Lynx have got so much DPS, and even though you are killing... Oh, look at that Ultra go, it's killing so many Lynx, and this is all by one Ultra, and it only lost 1/3 of its hit points. And with the economy, perhaps the Ultras might be the answer that Alien needed at this point, because TSU's main is getting low. It's now long distance mining, and although the main of Alien is dead too, and by dead I don't only mean mined out, but look at all these Hydras, and the army of Alien is getting crazy. The Hydras are here, they don't dare venture out against these Mutas. Meanwhile, the main is getting gutted. The 3rd is secured due to this beautiful Ultra. As you can see, TSU is gaining an army supply, and he was 40 supply behind, is now only 3, 4, 5 supply behind. That is absolutely insane. TSU is all over this. With the Mutas here, Mutas there, Mutas everywhere, and the army of Aliens is really crazy. Let's reset that, because otherwise we're going to get into the soundtrack of Diablo. But we're going to see a beautiful game of TSU. We're going to speed it up just a little bit, because although we've got a lot of Ultras, the army of TSU is now 20 supply bigger than that of Alien. The main is gone. The main is gone, the 3rd is under attack, the drone saturation is very low. The natural is still untouched, but it's mining out. And as TSU is now 25 supply up, I think this is going to go into the favour of TSU, and all the drones are being transferred to the main for some reason. There is no good reason for that, but every time a drone sticks his nose out, it's getting clipped on it by these Mutas, and by clipped on it, I mean getting killed. Look at this, the concave of TSU, the units are reducing in numbers, but the Muta count is still growing, and the 3rd has been shut down officially now. There is no more mining. Oh, only 1, 2 drones are still mining. The natural is out, the main is gone. It's not yet demolished, but TSU, I think it does that on purpose, just lets units be produced, then kill them. The mutant numbers are growing, and every time a unit of Alien sticks its nose out, TSU refusing to take an expansion. And if you look at the minimap, it's just the units of TSU are pulsing in, pulsing out. Oh, and now Alien's had enough. Alien's had enough, making a small sortie. But with all these Mutas overhead, what can a handful of Lynx and Ultras do? And the Hydra numbers are getting low too. The Hydra numbers are getting low. A lot of Hydras stuck here, defending against this one Muta. And this base, although mining is going on, it's not being efficient because it loses more drones than it's gaining income, and these Hydras can't do anything about it. Mutas everywhere. TSU's got the map. Army supply-wise, it's doubling Alien at this moment. I'm going to speed it up because otherwise the broadcast is going to be too long. And TSCMU is all over this. Look at this mass of mutas now engaging the Hydras directly, and all the Hydras are dead. TSCMU is over this. It did it off one base and a little bit of long distance mining from the natural. This is the GG. TSCMU still got the Zerg crown. I say GG. Come visit us at our website. You can play against these bots. You can learn how to install them on your computer. You can watch these gameplay 24/7. And you can also learn to code these beautiful monsters yourself. I say thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you next week.